Hello, this is Pastor Jay of Walk Truth Radio Network. If you're listening to this recording, you're about to listen to Let Us Reason Together Live, but you're listening to the edited version. Please subscribe to our Let Us Reason Together page on Facebook, follow, like, share, and hit the notification button so you could be a guest or a host of the next Let Us Reason Together show live. So tune in, tune on, and open your mind, and let us reason together and begin to think through the issues of today with our renewed mind. Talk to you in a second. Peace. Hello. This is Pastor Jay, and I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy Hanukkah, and any holiday that you want to celebrate. You know, I couldn't let this chance pass me by. This is recorded on Christmas Eve. And if you hear my dog barking in the background, I'm not in my studio area. I'm just talking on the phone, and we have to deal with this. So this is what I wanted to talk about today. The stimulus package. Wow. Those of us who think and articulate and discuss without being emotional, hysterical, and absolutely crazy, let's talk about the stimulus package. Now, I have one question for those who are liberal and those who are conservative. My question is, even AOC said that this thing was 6,000 pages long, and it contained so much pork, so much minutia, so much giving our money to other causes in other countries, that they willed you getting your money back at $600 a month. Now, like I told you guys, you better be careful when you don't vote policy and you vote personality, because what ends up happening is this. Look at some of the things that's in that bill, whether you're a conservative or you're a Democrat, whether you're a liberal or you're a libertarian. Do you really want your money to go to foreign countries when that money could go in your pocket because you're hurting? How are you going to justify sending Pakistan $10 million for whatever reason, no matter how good it is, when we have women and children hurting in the United States? How are you going to send the Dalai Lama some money when we have religious people hurting here in the United States? How are you going to give them tens of millions of dollars and to give the everyday average taxpaying American $600? That's not right. Even she said it was like holding you hostage. You hand us a bill to vote up and down on, and it's 6,000 pages long, and we only have 4 hours to vote, to read it. But see, that's the problem with our government right now. They just stuff stuff in the package. They just put it in there like stuff in a pork sausage full of, that's what I call it, pork. They just stuff it in there and encase it and say, go ahead and vote for it, because what we're going to put up front is stimulus. But it's really world welfare at this time, at this moment. And then you have the outgoing president says, I'm not signing it until you give the American people, Democrats, Republicans, black and white, $2,000. Let's think about this. Now, somebody's going to say, well, he's just doing this. Yes. But don't you want somebody who will think for you and say, look, regardless of what you think of me, I am really for the American people. And again, it makes no difference. But I was saying that from the get-go. I'm like, why give us $600, or why give the hurting person, the worker, $600? And then we're worse off now than we were in the beginning, and you gave us $1,200. So wouldn't we need more money now? For those who didn't want to give any money, what's wrong with you? And then for those who demonize the the vaccine, and now you're the first person to get the vaccine, how hypocritical of you. See, these are the things that thinking people think about and discuss and ponder over, that can articulate the fact that it doesn't make any sense and the system is broken. How far up in the butts do lobbyists have to be in our political framework? How does some other country lobby to the point where they get more money for their country than the average American gets in his pocket? See, because we're a melting pot, we have to understand, and I noticed this, now watch this. We're a melting pot of many nations. But what I've learned is those who come from other nations, they still have interest in that nation. So what they do is come to America to be free, to work, and to prosper. And then they lobby for the nation they came from. They're really not Americans. They're just Americans by citizenship. But as far as Americans by thought, no. They want to take the prosperity from America and ship it back to where they were. And I'm talking on the political level. I'm not talking about on the personal level. So they get to lobby. I mean, can you imagine Pakistan, who hid Osama bin Laden all that time, and then we give them $10 million? And anybody that knows the situation there, the generals there, they're going to get the money. A lot of this money doesn't go to the causes. It's like some of the charities here, where you send in $1 and only 6 cents on the dollar goes towards the actual charity itself, and then the rest of it goes through so-called administration cost. So now we have a situation where on Monday they're supposed to vote up and down because the president had the wherewithal and the guts, even though he's going out, to say the American people need $2,000. Now my question to you, do you want to send your money to Pakistan? Do you want to send your money to Dalai Lama? And there's a whole bunch of other pork. Just research it yourself. And I would love to dialogue with somebody who's actually researched all the pork that's in that bill, other than stimulus to the worker, the restaurants, the first responders, and all of that. Take all that foreign aid money away and make it truly a stimulus package for American citizens. Now, is that black, white, Republican, Democrat? No, that's about being an American citizen. That's about having a thinking mind. So how merry can your Christmas be when you know that they tried to shove a bill through? They gave more money to foreign countries and foreign issues than in your own backyard. Haven't you realized when we do America first, that's why they want to come to America? And some of these people that come to America to get their citizenship are really taking advantage of the kindness of this country in a way that is actually robbing the people and making themselves prosperous. You would be surprised. You know, didn't nobody say nothing when we gave Iran all that money and the Muslim Brotherhood money? All the people that dislike us. And it's kind of funny. We have one group of people who think that if we just throw money their way, they'll leave us alone. And they'll use the same money that was given to them to harm us. All the stealth and the ways of avoiding detection, Osama bin Laden learned that from America. You didn't know that. Because he was fighting Russia in Afghanistan. And who were we backing? We were backing the rebels that were fighting Russia. And guess what? He was one of them. Then he turned all that knowledge against us. We have to be wiser. And if I was you guys, between now and Monday, you need to send your politician an email and tell them to remove the pork and support the American people, the businesses, the front line, and make it a clean bill. You never heard of that word before, a clean bill. Make it clean. Don't allow it to continue to be like it is. And again, I apologize for my dog barking in the background. But I want you to think about that. How merry can your Christmas be when you know your government's going to give other countries more money than they were willing to give you? And I want to hear somebody come on here and make an excuse for them. All my Democratic friends, and I'm not in any party, I tend to be conservative economically and socially liberal, so I'm kind of in between, but I want to make sense to me all the way around. I don't just flock to one place and flock to another place because you say so. You have to think it out. And anytime you tell me that you're willing to put $2,000 in every American citizen's pocket at the time where they're hurting most, I don't care what part of you from, that's good. When you tell me that this president, through him pushing, got the vaccine for the whole world and Americans, that's good, whether you want to take it or not. When you tell me that at first one group of people said, if this person wins, I'm not going to take it because it's their vaccine, like they're in the lab making the vaccine up, that's ridiculous. And then when I ask you, give me one policy that you support from the president-elect, you don't even have one. Did you notice that the president-elect said that he's not going to change the immigration law right away? You know why? He said it because if I did, we'd have 2 million people coming in the border. What? Really? You mean that's not a good thing? Just think this through, people. I'm not telling you which side to be on. I'm just saying each side got its issues. But when you say you're going to put some money in the American people's pocket to help them and help these small businesses, to which I was a business owner, have friends that small business owners, and they're hurting because of some agendas. Thank God that they put the money up so they can borrow money, and they need another shot in the arm. Yeah, we're going to have to pay for it regardless. This is not free money, but the people need help now. And the way your congressman and senator can help you have a Merry Christmas after the fact is put that $2,000 in your pocket. Wouldn't you agree? So how merry can your Christmas be when you know your government you voted on is willing to send other countries money that one hate us, that don't respect us, and really you're hurting here. If you're going to support women who are being abused, you don't have to go far. You can probably walk down the street. If you want to help homeless children, you don't have to go far. Or hungry children. We have all the ills of the world right here in the United States. And this is a time where we need to be as nationalistic as possible, because think about this. If we are the world's economic power, we can't pull them out until we pull ourselves out. And the average business owner, not the Fortune 500 companies, but the mom and pop shops that are closing down, 1 out of 6 restaurants are closing down because of this virus, because of this situation. We need to do all we can. Generational restaurants, 50 and 60-year-old restaurants are going out of business because they can't afford to stay open. They can't afford to put in the precautions and then be shut down after precautions are put in. Can't you guys see what's going on? Think a little bit. Think beyond your emotions. Do I love that? No. He's a man. He does. The Bible tells me he does a lot of weird stuff. All men do, because they're operating in the flesh. But when you operate in the spirit, you tend to take a global look or a panoramic view and say, what helps the masses? And if God used Nebuchadnezzar, which he said it was his servant to chastise Israel, and he told them to prosper during that time, God is also telling us during this time, you keep going forward, you keep prospering during this time of testing, this time of famine, this time of hurt. Read 1 Peter. You're going to suffer for a little while, but you need to learn how to suffer well. And all I'm saying is align yourself to what helps people, regardless of what party it's in. If it doesn't help the people for real, don't align yourself with it, and be more active in contacting your politicians and saying, get all the pork out. Get all the pork out. Take all that stuff out. If it has nothing to do with helping American people and helping countries that's going to help us in some kind of way, and not giving money to these countries that are basically dictatorships and oligarchies and these type of things, what's the point of giving the money towards a nation who's governed by generals who's going to take the money and do what they want with under the cover of we're using it for humanitarian reasons? How much humanitarian money have we sent overseas and it ended up in somebody else's pocket? Just common sense. 6,000 pages? For real? AOC was right. Vote up or down, you're being held hostage. We do need new leadership in Congress. We need someone who, again, will say no more pork. Democrat or Republican. One says they don't want it, but then eventually gives into it. And one says give as much. Government is good, and government can solve everything, because you have to remember, where does government get its money from? The taxpayers. So if you really think that we're going to go the next 4 years and not have a tax increase across the board, you got to be kidding me. We got to pay for it. I get that. But my thing is, There's some things we shouldn't have to pay for, and we shouldn't have to pay for sending pork to somebody else. Why we send pork to a country that don't like pork? That's funny. I want you to think about that. So on Monday or Tuesday after the vote, I'm going to come on and we're going to see what happened. So how merry can your Christmas be when your government is sending more money to overseas than they put in your pocket during your time of testing, trouble, famine, hurt, and pain? This is for thinking people. This is my opinion. I ain't asking you to agree with me. I'm just asking you to think. This is not for emotional people or irrational people or people in their feelings or racists or meism or movement people. This is about people hurting. And there's people from all ethnic groups. What about all the people through the riots have lost their businesses? You don't talk about them no more. They're hurting. They need the money. I don't care if it's a smoke shop, a Chinese food shop, a clothing shop, a hair shop, a hardware store. If they've been burned out, they need the money because it is the politicians' fault on both sides that these riots happened. And each one has benefited from the confusion of the people and their lack of their ability to think. Don't you know there's money in trouble and confusion, and either party plays into that and plays into your head and your emotions, and both of them are still getting rich. You do not become a U.S. senator and stay middle class. You become a U.S. senator and become rich, and that's what they have done. You may have been born poor, but you are not poor no more. Bernie Sanders is a rich man. Joe Biden is a rich man. Sister Kamala Harris is a rich man, vice president. All of them are rich. Pence is rich. Trump is rich. All these people are rich, and they playing on the minds of the people with their ideologies that seem to be different, but they all the same. So when they do something and have a chance to help you, you better say something and take it. So for all those who want a Merry Christmas, I want you to have a happy one, but I want you to start putting on Facebook, give us the $2,000. Now, if you don't want it, then you donate yours back. Amen. For those of you who don't need it, donate yours back. Anybody making over, I don't know what to put, but there should be a level like you don't get it because you're not hurting. And if you get it, you should donate it back. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you're thinking. And we'll see. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And have a great New Year. Peace.